Well, my name's Jim Lawrence and I am the boss of Jim Lawrence Ironworks. It's a mail order company selling domestic fittings to the direct to the consumer via mail order.
What standard of GCSEs would you look for in advance for employing someone?
Well, we don't employ, be careful what I say here, but we don't employ overly skillful people. It's people with experience is what we want, or people that have got a nice attitude. That comes to, it's much more important to me to have somebody who's got a nice attitude, somebody who's keen, interested, and doesn't complain. But the people that we find very difficult are the people that whine, whinge, complain a lot, up for their rights, and never think about what we're trying to do, which is just keep our customers happy. And we come into work, none of us want to come into work, but we want to make it as pleasant an experience as possible. And you only need one person to upset that, and it just makes it a miserable place to work. So it's people with the right attitude. That's what we're really looking for. And the exam results you get are very important, but probably less so in an environment like this. But if you want to become a lawyer, then, or an accountant, then you've got to have, that's a different thing altogether.
Do you feel younger people have the right preparation, knowledge and skills to go into the workplace?
Well, it's easy to knock people when just because they're young. I think our experience in the last 3 years, at least, has been excellent. We've had some really good people come and see us. Now, whether that's because it's difficult to find work now, so people are coming to see us that we wouldn't otherwise have seen, I don't know. But we've been very impressed by the youngsters that come to help us, and they've got often a much nicer attitude than some of the older ones. So I think you're not doing too badly. I wouldn't knock yourself.
Do you think enough career advice is given for young people in order for them to go into the wide world?
I think it's very difficult. From my experience, I started to be a farmer, and it was only when I got to age 31 that we decided, well, we had to change because we weren't making money. I wasn't making money as a farmer, so we had to change and do something different, and that's what we've done here. So to choose your career at the age of 15, 16, which is what you're expected to do now, is virtually impossible. I think it's incredibly difficult. And from most people here, they all started off doing something completely different. So I think you want to do the best you can, choose something that's going to interest you. That's the thing. But the teachers can't really tell you. It's got to come from you, I think.
Do you feel then that careers advice in schools is perhaps futile and that people should find their own way in life?
Well, good question. I don't think it's futile, but I think you've got to have an open mind. So the thing is, I was talking to somebody the other day, and this girl was very interested in art. She loved her art, and but she was told to do medicine. So she ended up doing medicine, and then decided that she actually much preferred her art, so she changed over back to medicine, and is now a medical illustrator. So I think that's quite a neat way. She found out the hard way, as it were. But if you can have teaching staff that can tell you all the different things that you can do, it's not just medicine, it's not just art. There's lots of jobs that mix the both together. And I don't think you should all go and rush out and want to be medical illustrators, but it was an interesting idea.
What do you think of the changes to the GCSE system?
I don't really know. As I said, exams aren't it's not the first thing we look at here, but there's arguments for both sides, really. I mean, part of the good thing about an exam, I suppose, is it puts you under pressure. But it's a miserable experience for you all to go through, and I'm glad I don't have to do it.
When you were in education, did you feel prepared to leave?
No. I was absolutely clueless. And in fact, the young people we see today, I think, are far more prepared than I was when I left school. So
Things have improved.
I think they have. Yeah, I think you're a bit more streetwise. I was very naive really when I left school. So it's but it's all down to attitude. If you've got a good sort of, you guys have all got a bit of oomph about you. You're interested in doing stuff. So it's the difficulty, I think, comes with the people that haven't got that drive in them, and they're going to find life difficult. And there's not the factory jobs that there are that used to cater for those people, sort of unskilled. There's too many unskilled people that are satisfied in leaving school and just getting, you know, not the minimum wage, but getting a reasonable wage, but it's not furthering their career. So when they get to the age of 40, they're kicking themselves because they wish they'd got something under their belts. So you'll probably go and do some further education, get more qualifications, and you know, by the time you get to 35, 40, you'll be on your career path. But those guys are doing the same thing that they were doing when they were 17, and it's pretty depressing. And you know, a lot of the guys in the workshop, if you ask them all today, they're lovely people, but they all wish they'd put a bit more oomph into it. I was having the same conversation with somebody this morning, and he said, gosh, if I'd only have done a bit more. And he's trying to tell his son to work harder, because he never did it himself. So, you know, you can't blame the son for not taking any notice.